If you're taking time away from work, also take time away from the work of like being a mom and a dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just relax for a second. You earned, that's hard earned money. Being a parent is hard enough. Being a parent and having a career, I can't imagine. Just take that time and remember what it's like to be married, like just you guys. She said she wanted to take a couple trip, but feels guilty. It's like, 99% of the trips I took when I was a kid, which were kind of a lot, I don't even remember them. Like my parents felt like they had to bring us. And like my dad will say, remember when we went to Cancun that one time and did all these, we went zip lining, and I'm like, no. I'll read this email for you. Hi, Connor, Ann, and Kenny. I'm a mother of two, and my husband and I want to take a trip somewhere internationally soon. We're struggling to plan a trip because we feel like we should take them with us. What do you do when you want to take a trip as a married couple, but you're feeling guilty about your kids?
This is very easy. You leave the kids at home. The kids are not good. Okay. You're going to feel guilty for not taking them, but you will have a better time. And then the world will also do this amazing thing, and it'll thank you for not taking your kids. Traveling families are the worst. There is a reason that there has to be sections of places that are adults only. I went to stay somewhere recently, and it was very clear, adults only. And it was like an abyss. It was an amazing experience. And then the normal pool, which we did the next day, total mayhem. It was not even fun. The kids ruin everything. If you want to take an international trip, let alone with your kids, this is what I want you to do. I want you to figure out how much money that you're going to spend. Say this trip to Europe is going to cost you $7,000. I want you to send me half of that money, and then just don't take the trip. Okay. Because honestly, because it's just my fee. Because if you take the kids, first of all, it's going to cost more money and you're going to have less fun. So just don't take the trip. For this advice, send me half of the fee, and I'll take half of that, and I'll book you somewhere domestically nice.
Okay. Listen,
I mean,
don't get scammed.
We don't have
Kenny.
kids. No, we don't have kids, Connor and I. But I've traveled a bunch, and I have a bunch of friends, and no one ever looks like they're having fun on vacation with their kids. Seriously. I haven't. There's little moments of fun, but the totality of the trip, it's not relaxing. It's semi not interesting. You can't do cool stuff because little Timmy needs to be on his iPad because he can't sit still for 20 minutes. It's just not a great thing. The
things kids watch on these iPads these days too. Like when we were at dinner the other night, my friend's kid was watching it was like how elephants learn how to toss the ball in the air. And I looked over and I was like, oh, that's really specific and weird. And then I look back 5 minutes later and he's watching what am I trying to say? Like at a factory, how they just produce products at a factory. He was just watching how the product, I'm like, what are kids watching these days?
He started off with cartoons, and then YouTube is like, we need to keep this very valuable user who's 3 years old on the platform. So then he started seeing alien videos. Then next he started seeing conspiracy videos. Then next, then he starts saying weird stuff. You're like, where did you learn that? And it's YouTube.
I know this kid's watching corporate manufacturing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
He's going to be really smart. But have you ever seen kids at a restaurant and the parents are just fed up and they give this little crack fiend their crack in the form of an iPad? They just sit and they stare like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they're perfectly quiet, like little drug addicts. Like that iPad is a drug. And my friends, I have a bunch of friends who didn't want their kids to be on devices, but they threw up their hands because it's the only thing that will keep this kid quiet. So yeah, just don't do that to yourself. You're taking an international trip, get a babysitter, get your parents, just go have fun by yourself. Don't ruin it with the kids.
I think with the iPad thing, what sucks so bad is at first it was something that it was like, well, I'm going to wait and my kid will have a phone when when she's 17 instead of getting her one when she's 13, 14, like her friends. And it's like, at first it was all fun and games to just hold off like a normal parent back in the day. Like, no, you don't get a Tamagotchi until months down the road. But now it's kind of like a safety thing. It's like, if you don't get your kid a phone and every other kid has a phone, and that's just how or same with the iPad. It's like, yeah, but then they go to class and the other 15 kids in their class are on their iPads. And then they don't have an iPad. It's kind of like you can't even do that anymore. Like my parents played that game with me. I got a phone when I was like 16. That was my first.
But you survived. Phone. I mean,
I know, but it was fine at the weird. Time.
Yeah.
Now
but honestly, has the world changed that much where you need to know the location of your kid when they're 8 years old? I know in theory you do, but for
totally.
For 2,000 years, we basically didn't need to geolocate children at all times, and the world went on just fine. But now we have to like have a GPS embedded in kids.
There's so many like nappings going on, not naps.
But that's always been like that. A little kidnapping.
Yeah, there's
you
too much.
Shorten naps.
It's too much. I know I'm going to be that psychotic mom. Like if I can't find my kid in Target in like 3 seconds, I'm just going to be hysterical. I might even be that crazy mom with the leash, the backpack leash.
Oh, you would. Very controlling. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, the leash for Connor.
But with your kids, listen, there's so many incredible like places to go in the world. If you're taking time away from work, also take time away from the work of like being a mom and a dad. Yeah. Oh my God, just relax for a second. You earned, that's hard-earned money. Being a parent is hard enough. Being a parent and having a career, I can't imagine. Just take that time and like remember what it's like to be married, like just you guys. She said she wanted to take a couple trip, but feels guilty. It's like, 99% of the trips I took when I was a kid, which were kind of a lot, I don't even remember them. Like my parents felt like they had to bring us. And like my dad will say, remember when we went to Cancun that one time and did all these, we went zip lining, and I'm like, no. I don't. And I wasn't a baby kid. I was like 7, but I just think 17. You don't. Yeah, this was last year. I still don't remember. I really just don't think that they'll remember / care. At the time, they might be like, what the hell, you're leaving us? But that's just because kids are needy. And I think you totally deserve to go have time away with your husband. Right?
Right. And I think you should be considerate of other people, because no one wants your kids. No one thinks that your kids are cute. No one wants them on the plane with them. When I'm on a plane and I see a little family, I have this sinking feeling in my heart. And I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen here? Because they're animals. They're animals on the plane. I had a little kid sit there and kick the back of my seat for an hour. And his mom just sat there and was like, this is perfectly fine. I'll let this little baby dinosaur animal thing just kick the back of my seat. Boom, boom,
She's like,
boom,
he
boom.
loves it. There was this kid in the Delta Sky Club recently that came up to me and was like just staring at me. Like he didn't say anything. He just walked up and started staring like a foot away from me. And I was like, hello.
Really creepy.
I was just kind of like, hi, what's up? Because I thought he was about to kind of be like, hey, lady, and ask me something. Just steals my chocolate croissant and fucks off. Just runs away. He just grabs it, looks at me, and then runs away. I was like, I hate kids.
I know.
I was like, no!
And then when we have them, we're going to love them. And then we're going to become one of these lunatics that is like, my kid's awesome.
I know.
But I know it's so bad. But let's enjoy talking a little junk about kids and parents now.
While we can. Yeah.
It's one of the benefits of being young and childless is you could make fun of the parents, but then you become a parent and then you cross over to the other side and it's a whole thing. So I'm enjoying roasting parents and children now, but I know it'll all change.
It'll change. We need to figure out how to be less unhinged. I keep double negativing all the time. More hinged is what we need to be.
More hinged, yeah.
We'll learn how to be more hinged with time.
More just corporate, more kind of like reading from a paper, more very simple words and like clean messages. And we'll stay on the straight and narrow next Friday.
Sounds boring, but okay, we can try.
Nah.
Oh, Tell us if you like the unhinged or if we should be more hinged.
Yeah, give us your feedback.
All right, you guys, that was our episode. I don't know what you learned from this. If you did learn something, tell me about it. If you want us to ask something specific, write us an email, hello@travelnerds.co, and listen to our episode next Wednesday. Check us out on @TravelNerdsPod on TikTok and Instagram. And I love you guys. Have a good weekend. Later, nerds.